This will be the most insane build that I've ever done, but the last time I tried a Yeti, it didn't go so well. But I hope this one is different.
This is the 40th anniversary Yeti SB160 Team Edition that retails for a whopping $13,500. Only 100 of these were made, and I'm still kicking myself for missing out on the 35th anniversary bike. I wasn't about to make that mistake twice.
All right, it's time to build up this work of art, and I just love this retro paint job and all the little custom bits. Let me know if you like the little purple accents that they're providing. For this price point, you can expect all top shelf parts. It comes with the $2,000 upside down fork, the Fox Podium. You got XTR wireless drivetrain, and even electronic shock, the Fox DHX Live Valve Neo, and a Fox wireless dropper. So let's start with this.
So let's talk about my last experience with a Yeti. Back in 2022, I bought a Yeti SB115, what I thought was a short travel trail bike. Turns out, it really wasn't. The geometry and the travel made it feel a lot more like an XC bike, and it just wasn't enough bike for me. I made it work eventually by changing out a bunch of parts and adjusting the head tube angle, but ultimately I sold it and moved on. This model, the Yeti SB160, is an enduro bike. It's a completely different animal. It has 170 mil travel up front, 160 in the rear, and this Team Edition is literally the same bike the team races on. N+1 Bikes gave me a good deal on this bike. Using my code EvanDeal, I saved a lot of money. And right now, most Yetis are on sale for some pretty good prices. Before when I started, Yeti used to be only dentist bikes, unaffordable for the average rider. But now the prices are coming down on Yetis, and this brand is back on my radar. So I'm giving Yeti another shot. Plus, I've progressed a lot as a rider since then, so I'm pretty optimistic about this SB160. Obviously, it's a lot of bike, especially for me and where I ride, but I really wanted to experience this bike, and then one of you will be lucky enough to win it.
Man, this bike is already looking so good. So I've heard this called the Richie Rude Edition because it's the exact build that the team races on. So this bike is just gonna be a beast. It has a crazy linkage called the Switch Infinity, and supposedly that makes the suspension feel bottomless, which is sick because when I tried the Fox Podium on my Pivot, that fork felt bottomless too. So the front and the rear feeling bottomless, this could be like riding on a cloud. Next up, let's start installing all this XTR stuff. We have the XTR Di2 wireless, got the newly redesigned XTR brakes, which I haven't tried yet, plus the new XTR cranks. Ever since the first time I laid eyes on XTR stuff, way back in 2003, I've always dreamed of having this group set, so I'm pretty pumped right now.
This is where I ran into my first problem of the build. I've never seen this kind of bottom bracket before. I thought all Shimano bottom brackets were the same size, but these outer cups are way smaller and I didn't have a tool that fit. So I resorted to using a strap wrench, which should get me by until the tool comes in, and I feel like I was able to get it decently tight, maybe like 10 Newton meters with a strap wrench. Let me know what you'd have done. These XTR cranks look cool, but for some reason, Shimano decided to stop making XTR cranks in carbon. So I think these weigh like 650 grams, definitely an area I could save some weight on this build. And I'm actually planning on doing a video testing lightweight components one by one to see which lightweight upgrades make a difference. Let me know what lightweight upgrades you want to see me test and I'll try to make it happen. Now these brakes are a big redesign for Shimano. Before, Shimano was known for real bad wandering bite point, plus the lever blades would snap off so easily. Well, the new version has definitely been improved. The lever blade is bulked up where it used to snap off, plus it uses a new low viscosity brake fluid that they say helps with wandering bite point. We'll see if that's true. I'm just super glad this bike came with the fluid, saved me a trip to the store. I'm not a big wireless component guy. If I had to say what's the best component to go wireless, I'd pick a wireless dropper all day. What about you? But when you have a build that's all out, fully upgraded, and you go full wireless everything, it's pretty fun, I gotta admit. And I can't wait for wireless brakes. I'll be the first one to line up to buy those, if there is even a line.
Oh man, this is going pretty easy. So the last thing to wrap up is the wheels and tires. And I didn't realize it when ordering, but these are DT Swiss EX 1700 aluminum rims. And on a bike this expensive, I really thought it would come with carbon rims. I asked around and apparently these are the rims that the Yeti Enduro team runs. But if I look at Richie Rude from the Enduro World Champs this year, he was on FR 541s. I think to really cap off this build, a set of carbon rims with Chris King hubs would be perfect. And maybe I'll just have to build those myself. Let me know if I should.
So I have a question for you. Is a limited edition rare bike like this able to be a collector's item? I know that's not really a thing in mountain bikes, but I mean it's possible. And if it is a collector's item, would changing out parts ruin it? I'm tempted to change out some parts, maybe throw on some Pirelli or Continental tires, race face bars and cranks, make it a little bit more me. And collector's item or not, I want to have some fun with this bike and make it a full-on dream build. And since I'm the one hosting the giveaway this time, I can upgrade it live as the contest goes on and announce the winner myself November 22nd on a live stream. It's been a ton of work. I actually spent 2 months coding my new sagamtb.com site, but it's finally live. And a big thanks to everyone who supports the channel by entering. You're the reason I get to keep building bikes like this. The last thing to wrap up this build, I have to plug in all the batteries. I counted 7 total if you include the remotes. And I forgot to install the sensors for the rear shock, and I'll talk more about that on the trail.
All right, the bike is almost done and I really want to know what it weighs. On the website, it says this team edition weighs 37.4 pounds, but the bike came with cush core because that's what the team runs, and there's a bash guard, both of which I left off to save weight, and those accessories aren't really needed in my area, so let's see what this thing weighs. 36.6 pounds? That's pretty good, especially with a front tire that weighs 1,300 grams. But now I gotta get this bike all tuned up, ready to go. I'll do that off camera, and then we can go see if this Yeti is better than my last one. All right, well, it is time for the official christening of the SB160. And already, man, this bike feels so smooth. And I was gonna take it to Lake Leatherwood, the Enduro shuttle park. But you know, Enduro racers, they don't shuttle. They lug a bike like this uphill. So I think it's appropriate to, you know, climb this bike the first day. Don't go straight to the shuttle. I did change out the bars, stem, and grips to something I'm familiar with, mainly because I didn't want to cut the BergTech bars down. This is a size large, and the way I had it, the bike was feeling just a little bit too big for me. So you can do a lot of stuff if you cut the bars down. That actually changes up the whole feel of a bike. And I dropped the spacers a little bit, so this bike is fitting me pretty good. Well, let's go warm up on a jump trail. All right, and this is the first lap I'm doing on this bike, so hopefully it goes well. Oh yeah, I can send it deep for sure. I'm already feeling that bottomless feeling. All right, back up to the top because I want to do this drop up here. But man, this bike climbs really well. And that electronic shock called the live valve definitely adds to it. So the way it works is there's two sensors on the front and rear, and you calibrate the bike on a level surface. So that way when the bike is pointing downhill, the shock opens up. And then when you're going uphill, it can sense that and it closes out the compression, I believe. And I've tried the electronic version of RockShox, the flight attendant, and I really like that stuff. It was really good. But I'll say right away, this live valve is way quieter. That flight attendant was so loud, and I have not heard this one work at all. I'm even like questioning, like, is it even working? But one glaring thing is the fork does not have the lockout like the flight attendant, and I do miss that. I am feeling that, like the rear shock is locked out when I'm climbing, and the front fork is still bouncing around. So that's a bummer, but so far so good. All right, there's like an 8-foot drop. Let's see how this goes. Ah, so smooth. I gotta find a better way to test that bottomless suspension. Yeah, man. So let's say this bike isn't a collector's item, but I wonder, in mountain bikes, is there ever a bike that's like sought after 10 years down the line? Like for instance, in cars, you got a Mustang Fox body. Those are super sought after these days. And Honda S2000, same thing, just so sought after. Maybe not a collector's item, but people want those cars. And funny enough, my mom has owned both of those cars, so maybe I should ask her what makes something sought after 10 years down the line. I know for me, I would love to have a nuke proof. They made like a white and gold version a couple of years ago, and man, now that they're discontinued, I'd pay an arm and a leg for one of those. Quick little climb to the top though on this road so I can bed in these brakes. Yeah, Shimano gave me another surprise. When I went to go bleed the brakes, turns out they have a new bleed port that requires a new special bleed hose. So I just kind of made it work with a gravity bleed. But it's like, man, that was two surprises, needing a specialty tool to make this XTR stuff work. Ah, there we go. Ooh, good power already. That's nice. All right, the next one's Wildfire. It's a jump line, and I'm following Nathan here. He's 12 and watches my videos. Let's hit it. I'm gonna send it a little deep to test out the suspension. Yeah, they just redid this trail. It's sick. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, Nathan. Nice, dude. All right, well, let's hit one of my favorites, a chunk trail, to really start testing this SD160. Yeah, this is so supportive, man. This is awesome. This bike feels really stout. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Like it's stiff and plush at the same time, but I am hearing a little rattle in the back and everything's tight. And I'm thinking that's just because the hub engagement is not great. So I might have to go with some Chris Kings. We'll see how much those cost. Yeah, man, so good. Man, I'm impressed. The way the bike compresses the suspension, I've not felt that before. That's an interesting feeling. It has a really good mid-stroke support, and then the ramp up isn't like too crazy. So I think they did a pretty good job with this, but there's definitely some parts I want to change around to make this bike feel a little more like I'm used to. And I know people are gonna say like, what do you need to change anything? The bike works for Richie Rude. But that's like a fallacy in mountain biking where people go like,
oh, well, this pro rides this bike, so must be good enough. But those pros ride way faster than me or an average Joe ever could. So they're gonna set up their bikes differently. But right now, I'm pretty much out of time. It's Halloween day, and we're going trick-or-treating soon, so I have time for one more trail, and it's called Lone Wolf. It's a pretty spicy little chunk trail. It's kind of short, but should be pretty fun on this bike. Here we go, Lone Wolf. I shouldn't have said one more. I should have said another. Gonna take it easy. Whoa. Can barely see where I'm going. Wow, it's rough right now. Oh, they made that one longer, I think. Nice. Man, this bike is so fun. And I'm so glad I got to experience this 40th anniversary Yeti